Yes, good job.
Yay. Thank you.
One more. Yeah.
Mother, 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 there's too many of you crying. Oh, brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, when Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer. It's only love can conquer hate. You know we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. I seen picket lines and picket signs, so don't punish me with brutality. Just talk to me so you can see, oh, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, oh, what's going on, oh, yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Mother, mother, mother. Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply because our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. I see picket lines and picket signs, so don't punish me with brutality. Come talk to me so you can see, oh, what's going on, what's going on, yeah, what's going on, what's going on, so tell me what's going on, what's going on, tell you what's going on and on and on and on. Ooh, yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
Everybody, welcome. We are at a very special BGL celebration today for Juneteenth. And what you just heard was Eli Weary of the Weary Arts Group from my very own hometown. So first we're going to meet each other. We're going to talk a little bit about the past and present of Juneteenth. We're going to read a story and then have a bit of a discussion about independence and freedom and have some questions. So first things first, I'm Teacher Jackie. Hello, nice to meet you all. I work with Banyan Global Learning and have been teaching online for many years. I'm very happy to bring you this event today and have a celebration of Black culture and elevate the Black community in this Juneteenth event. So we have a couple special guests with us here today. First up, we have Teacher Joy.
Hi, I'm Teacher Joy. It's great to meet you all. I am an actress and a wellness practitioner and a teacher, and I love fighting for justice. So I'm super, super happy to be here with you guys, and hopefully we can all contribute and learn from each other.
Thank you. Welcome, Teacher Joy. Very happy to have you here. And we also have with us Teacher Lila.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Lila Prickens. I am an actress, activist, and model, and a teacher for BGL. I'm located in Los Angeles, California, and I'm 23 years old.
Welcome to our program. Thank you so much for being here, Teacher Lila. And Eli, can you give us an introduction of yourself and a little bit about Weary Arts Group?
My name is Eli Weary from York, Pennsylvania. I am 19 years old, and I am a singer, songwriter, guitar teacher, vocal teacher, and I am part of the Weary Arts Group, which is an organization that runs out of York, Pennsylvania, that teaches kids in the arts and puts on productions for multiple schools within the area, and teaches dance, acting, singing, photography, and just does plenty of stuff with the arts in the community.
Awesome. Thank you, Eli. Now, I love the Weary Arts Group. As I said, they are from my hometown. And actually, I've known the founder, Cal Weary, for a very long time, over about 20 years. And in these 20 years, he's done amazing things for the community in my hometown. Well, thank you guys all for being here. Teacher Joy, could you tell us a little bit about these zones?
Absolutely. So we know it's okay to feel all of these different ways. But here at BGL, we like to color code them a little bit. It makes it a little easier to talk about sometimes. So if you're in the blue zone, it might mean you're feeling sick or sad or bored, or maybe you're just moving a little slower today. If you're in the red zone, you might be a little angry or mean or just a little out of control. And you just might need a moment, you know? If you're in the yellow zone, maybe you're frustrated or wiggly or a little anxious or excited. And if you're in the green zone, which is where I am today, you're feeling happy and calm and good and focused and ready to learn. So hopefully we can get everyone to the green zone before we start today, but it's okay if you're in one of the other zones.
Awesome. Thank you, Teacher Joy.
Yeah.
So I know another expert on this, so I will throw it out to her first. Vita, can you tell us about what zone you're in right now?
I'm in the green zone / yellow zone. I'm kind of excited. I'm really calmy because I guess my friend's birthday is today. I get to spend time with her, and we all get to go everywhere.
Thank you, Vita. So how about you, Teacher Lila? How you feeling?
I feel mostly green. I'm very happy to see everyone today, but I'm also feeling kind of blue. I have a little bit of a cough, so I'm a little tired, a little sick, but mostly green. I feel good.
And Mr. Eli, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good in the green zone. I'm calm and well, I'm a little excited, so I'll say yellow too. So yeah.
Excellent, thanks. And Chris, let's check in with you. How you feeling?
A bit in blue, but also green because my fatigue and tiredness is a lot today. But I'm also excited to learn about this because this is actually a subject I don't know that much about, and I'm really happy to be able to learn more about it.
Right on. Well, hugs. Sorry you're not feeling well, and thank you so much for being here, even though you don't feel the best. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad you guys are curious about Juneteenth because we have a lot to share about it with you today. And I'm going to start with a quote from one of my favorite poets. And she said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." And I think this is really important because when we learn new things, we've learned a lot in this last year between the pandemic and social justice movements. And so now what you do with that new information can help grow your character and help you be an even better person for yourself, people around you. So you may not know that Juneteenth is also called Freedom Day. So Teacher Lila, can I toss this over to you to give us a little instruction on this?
Sure, absolutely. So if you think about holidays like an Independence Day, you probably think about the 4th of July, right? So when you learn in school about the 4th of July, you learn about how the people in Boston, they threw the tea in the harbor to protest against Great Britain because they were taxing them too much, right? So that's when like the United States of America became a country. So Juneteenth is a holiday, or just a day of recognition for people in the Black community to recognize a very important day in our history. So if you don't know, for a very long time, at the beginning of the United States of America, before it was even a country, there was slavery happening in mostly the South. So in the southern states like Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, all of those southern states there. And you can see the state on the left is Texas. So when President Abraham Lincoln decided to legally end slavery, it took a long time for the word to travel through all of those states. So Juneteenth, June 19th, 1865, that was a very special day when the word finally got to the last slaves, the last people who were enslaved, that they were free. And that's just kind of like the beginning. Like we celebrate this day just to commemorate the fight that our people had to go through for 400 years, and now we're finally free, for freer than we were. It's a very important holiday. It's a day where we spend it with family and we reflect. So the first celebration included singing, dancing, feasting, and planning for the future with community. People were talking about, oh, we're going to start a business, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to build a house, we're going to start a farm of our own. So it was really about just celebrating this new slice of life that they had access to. And it's really a day to be with your family and talk about culture and just really be thankful for everything that our ancestors went through in the past so that we could be here today. And you can see in the past, on the right, that's an actual flyer all the way from 1919. So that's 100 years old, that flyer. And you can see all of the Black-owned businesses that were popping up because people had ideas and they were free so they could start their own businesses. And you can see all the people, they were dressed in their nice outfits and their little hats, and they marched together, and they had lots of food. It was a really good time. Today, you can see that it's still kind of the same thing. There are people with music in the streets, big parades, and more just community gathering. It's not really so much about showboating and like flashy stuff. It's more about just being together with the community, eating good food, and really showing each other love. And then you can also see last year was a very special year. They released a film called Miss Juneteenth, and it's about this pageant that has taken place in the state of Texas. It's a beauty pageant for young Black women to participate and be crowned Miss Juneteenth. And it's full of tradition, and there's rich culture behind it, rich history. But so Juneteenth is actually not a federally recognized holiday, meaning it's not an official holiday. So you won't see it on your calendar yet. And you might be wondering, why is it called Juneteenth? So one thing I love about Black people so much is that we like to make new words out of things. And Juneteenth is a combination of the month of June and the day 19th. So Juneteenth. So the Senate just voted, and they want to take the steps to make Juneteenth an official holiday. So it's not an official holiday yet. There are a lot of states that recognize it. So, you get a day off of work, and you have time to celebrate and honor the holiday, but it's not quite yet. So it can take up to 2 years, but you might see something in the news sooner than that Juneteenth is an official holiday.
Oh, thank you, teacher Lila. That was very informative. I'd like to ask our friends, so is this the first you've heard about Juneteenth? And have you ever done anything to celebrate Juneteenth or the Black community in the past? No? Okay, cool. Well, then this is the perfect opportunity for us all to take a moment and really appreciate what the Black community has done for our country, for our culture, for America, and just how much we appreciate the people that are in our lives every day. And so just keep that in mind as we're going through this program today, and keep a special place in your heart and in your mind for the Black community. That's what this holiday is about. So I'd like to have a little talk right now then with our panel of people who have maybe experienced Juneteenth in the past. So teacher Joy, can you tell us what your experience with Juneteenth has been?
Yeah, my family has traditionally had a very quiet discussion around what Juneteenth means, but never have we actually had formal celebrations. And so now that this day is being recognized by the rest of the world and specifically by this country, for me, it's very exciting that, I was mentioning earlier that on Saturday, I'm actually going to a gathering with friends where we're going to have some traditional foods and listen to great music and just be immersed in community. So it'll be a wonderful environment, filled with people that we love, all races. It's really all of our friends and all of our community coming together to just like Lila said, to recognize what our ancestors have done for us and really understand the shoulders that we stand on, and that we get to be here and we get to fight for something much bigger than ourselves every single day, namely humanity. But specifically on this day, we get to really recognize what Black people have done for this country and in this country, and the blood and sweat and tears that were shed many, many years ago and even today. So, yeah.
Thank you, Joy. Lila, what experience have you had with Juneteenth?
Every summer, or almost every summer, I would travel all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast and visit my family in New York. It was very special for my family in New York because we have a lot of stories of our ancestors, like my great-great-grandfather fleeing from the South, fleeing from slavery to the North. And we have some crazy history. So we tell stories about what happened. We cook a lot of food and we sit around outside. We make a big circle with the chairs. And the kids, we usually have something set up for them to play. And of course, the kids listen to the stories too. But we sit and we just kind of like sit around a fire and tell the stories and really just feel the energy. And, we say a prayer for our ancestors, and we keep it very, very respectful. But of course, if you're around the neighborhood in Buffalo, New York, I'll see a few different Juneteenth, like just cookouts happening. So we'll just go around the neighborhood, bounce around and just say hi to everybody, say we're happy to see them, and just really be with community. That's really what Juneteenth has been about for me personally, just really giving your community a hug. I feel that's kind of how I feel. So a lot of just storytelling, good food, and being with your community. It's a good time.
Oh, I love that, teacher Lila, giving your community a hug. Mr. Eli, what's your experience with Juneteenth?
So Juneteenth wasn't really something that was brought up to me or like a part of my life, and I honestly didn't really even know of it as a thing until like 2 or 3 years ago. And I mean, knowing it makes sense as a celebration, and like it I don't feel gypped. I don't know if that's the word to use, but I do sort of feel as though just I know there were a lot of things that were missing out of my education in the school system that I went to. I know that I knew a lot more than some other kids in the school that I went to, but I think I mean, it's impossible to know everything. And this was just one of the things that I never learned about. And so, like, I support it and I'm behind it as an idea, but it wasn't something that I grew up with.
Thank you, Eli. Eli and I are from the same hometown, and I didn't grow up knowing about this either. And I think a lot of people didn't. I was super old when I finally learned about it, and I felt a little silly for not knowing. It's very cool that you're here and you're learning about it now. So you could like go tell other kids at your school or tell your family about it and teach them, because we are all still learning together, and it's never too late to share information like this with even your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. Coming from you, I think they would love to hear some education, some facts. You guys are so super smart. So Eli, I was hoping that you might be able to play some more music for us. And while he's playing, I'm going to welcome you if you would like to express yourself through movement and dance. So take it away, Eli.
You're so good, Eli.
Fantastic. Thank you so
you.
much. So thank you very, very much. Again, Eli is with the Weary Arts Group in York, Pennsylvania. These are his siblings, just a really, really great organization to work with. Just because they're in Pennsylvania doesn't mean you can't access them too, because we live in times where everybody can do everything online. So check them out sometime. Questions, or tell them how awesome they are. Tell Eli he is amazing.
Well, Eli, you're amazing. What are the traditional foods of Juneteenth?
Janvita. I just learned a lot about food. There's some traditional soul foods that growing up, I was really used to eating, like sweet potatoes and black eyed peas, which is like a bean stew, fried chicken and catfish, things that are very Southern, okra. And I just learned that so many of those things actually really originated in Africa and not necessarily in the South. So these were things that when people were brought to this country as slaves, they brought those traditions with them from Africa. Yes, some of the foods that slaves were given were scraps from other things, but they always took those things and made beauty out of them. And so some of those traditional dishes are really beautiful dishes that were made from scraps, but so many of them were traditional African foods like yams and sweet potatoes, which are different. I don't know if anyone has ever even seen a traditional yam. They're huge, where sweet potatoes are very small. Okra is also a traditional African food, black eyed peas, red rice, really yummy things. So there's so many different kinds of foods. Collard greens. I don't know if any of you have ever had greens or kale. Those are just delicious foods. So a lot of those are the traditional foods that people will make for Juneteenth.
Thank you. And that was the perfect question for Teacher Joy, because she's also a health and wellness coach. And so she does all sorts of smoothie making and healthy food making, and delivers meals right to people's homes.
Yeah.
I need a Joy in my life.
And I try to take those traditional Southern foods and make them plant-based. And so you actually still get a lot of those delicious flavors and a lot of the traditional foods that I grew up eating, except they're just really healthy. So it's super fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Vita, were you going to say something? Go ahead.
Very cool. I didn't know there were so many traditional foods.
Yeah.
Totally. And you used a word, Joy, that I think maybe not everybody would know is soul food. So what is soul food?
I mean, I think so many different things can be soul food. I think soul food is food that's made with love, food where you can make something out of nothing. A lot of people don't grow up with a lot of money or resources. And I think when you can take foods and pour your heart into them and cook with your family, there's something soulful about that. You're pouring your heart into it. So I think traditionally that's where the name soul food comes from. You know, it's the foods that we were making out of a very, very bad situation, and we turned it into something really beautiful and really tasty.
I like that.
Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause it made me realize that time is not your ally. Spend it wise. Oh, I'll stand in today. I don't wanna waste another moment wishing I could say, take me on one more time, so I know that they know I'll dial your name today. Yeah, been so long since I called, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You've been on my brain way too long, we'll be gone. I'm too strong, so I'm gonna say, I love. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Eli. And for anybody that watches this later, thank you so much for taking the time to learn a little bit and to help elevate our Black community, because this is the one day out of the year that we really could all come together and have a celebration. It doesn't have to be just one day, though. Could be every day. Eli, blessings for your talents. Thank you so much for being here, and for the Weary Arts Group for molding you into the fine musician that you are today. And Lila, thank you so much for your talents and your storytelling and your singing. And Joy, thank you so much for all of your peace and your wisdom that you always bring to us. Pleasure to have you on. And so thank you, crew, and to our friends that left already. Appreciate you.
Great job. And thank you, Jackie,
Of
for
course.
leading us, our fearless leader. You did a great job. It's beautiful.
Barreling into the future, guys. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, thank you.
So happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Happy
And eat
Juneteenth.
some good food.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.